From Los Angeles, it's the Tom Leykis Show.
Really?
And now, here he is, Tom Leykis.
Thank you for tuning into the Tom Leykis Show. This is where America gets together to talk about the issues you really care about. It's a different kind of a radio talk program. We're the radio talk show that is not hosted by a right-wing wacko or a convicted felon. No. I am your host. Write down our toll-free telephone number. You're going to need it. It's 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for being part of our program. Right here in our backyard in Fullerton, Ed Wright writes in and says, Tom, I've got a question for you. By the way, in journalism school, they always teach you the following. They say, if you have a question, don't preface it by saying, may I ask a question, or I have a question for you. Just ask the goddamn question. Sorry, Ed. Ed says, I've got a question for you. Some bitch I was dating from the ages of 19 to 23 burned me. Obviously, like so many. I listened to what you said and didn't take your advice. I was just thinking. I wonder if she still smokes. She really didn't when we first started going out, but through our relationship, she did more and more. Incidentally, I'm a regular smoker. Then I thought about it. You know, most of the girls I meet and know who smoke are sluts. What is your thought on this? That's Ed Wright in Fullerton. And, Ed, I have to agree with you. And, of course, we throw in the chicks with tats. There's no doubt about that. Let me tell you why, in my view. People with a lot of piercings, people with tattoos, people who smoke, generally speaking, do not treat their bodies as a temple. They always say, treat your body as a temple. Those people don't. These are people who engage in unhealthy and frequently risky behavior. In fact, I believe the tattoo thing, people want you to know that they engage in risky behavior. I tend to believe that anybody who engages in unhealthy behavior on a regular basis, drinking, weed smoking, cigarette smoking, and then mutilating your body with piercings or tattoos, this is somebody who isn't going to worry about sexually transmitted disease. What if I get a disease? They're not like that. They're not worried if people think badly of them, because clearly if they worried about that, they wouldn't have these chains and gold bars through their nipples and earrings and all the piercings. They wouldn't do that. Obviously, they're not only not worried about what people think, they're trying to get attention. And I believe that all of this behavior adds up to sluts. That's what it adds up to. Men are all sluts, so it doesn't really matter, with the rare exception of an occasional Mormon missionary. Men are all sluts. But women who smoke, to answer your specific question, Ed, I happen to believe that women who smoke, especially women who smoke heavily, are definitely, no doubt about it, sluts. In fact, I'll go this far. I've never met a woman who smokes and is a virgin. Ever. Ever. I'll tell you right now, if you're a parent and your 13-year-old daughter is smoking, trust me, that's not all she's smoking. Tell you right now. No doubt about it. I mean, I also know from my own experience, you say in the letter, Ed, that she didn't really smoke when you first started going out, but she started smoking more and more. That is somebody who can be tempted. I don't smoke. I've never been a cigarette smoker, but you know what? I've occasionally been with a chick who smokes, and And when you're drinking, chicks who smoke, they don't want to smoke alone. They don't want to go to the no-smoking area or out on the terrace when it's cold and rainy and smoke by themselves. You ever had that conversation with somebody? You're on a date with somebody who smokes and you don't, okay? And in the case of, in my history, you'd have a chick who says, I have to go out on the terrace and smoke. Would you come with me? They all do this. Would you come with me? And I will tell you that there have been cases where I'm with a chick that I really wanted to bang, and obviously the chick, when you get out there, you want one? You want to smoke? You want a cigarette? You want to smoke? And they will try to, like, tempt you into smoking. And you know what? I've done it. I have smoked cigarettes. Now, how many have I smoked, and how deeply did I inhale? Well, for the length of my lifetime, less than a pack in all those years. But the minute you start tempting me with cigarettes, the fact is you could probably tempt me any number of ways. And this chick who didn't smoke and then started smoking more and more, that is somebody who obviously doesn't want to smoke, doesn't like smoking, thinks smoking is wrong, does it anyway. I think that's an indication of slutdom. Slutdom, yes. The state of being slutty. Slutdom. It's my own word. I don't think it's in the dictionary yet, but we'll work on that. So, what is your take on this? Do you think women who smoke are sluts?
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM.
My wife is trying to egg me into buying her some leather pants.
She wants other men to look at her ass the way you do.
Right.
Why would you want to make it easier for them to enjoy your wife's ass?
Exactly. I should buy her a damn moo-moo.
The Tom Leykis Show.
The Tom Leykis Show. From Los Angeles, 1-800-5800-TOM. Chicks who smoke. Sluts. Right? Randy on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
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 How are you?
Do you care, Randy?
I do.
I'm doing great.
I smoke, and yes, I definitely am a slut, and I'm proud of it.
Are you?
Yes.
I love that.
Yeah.
And do you agree with my reasoning behind this? I think people who smoke don't care so much about their health, not so worried about living in a bubble.
No, just pretty much free going.
It's just a sign that somebody engages in all kinds of risky behavior.
Yes, that we do.
Yeah. I mean, you know what smoking can do to you.
I know. I tried to quit a few times, but you know what?
Well, you knew the first time you stuck a smoke in your mouth that it was addictive. You knew that.
Of course.
And you knew that it causes lung cancer, heart disease, stroke.
Well,
emphysema.
no, kind of young at that time, but now I do.
I don't know how you could not know. It's everywhere. In school, they would take you to these assemblies, and they would have somebody dressed as a cigarette coming out. Hi, I'm Smokey. You know, and then they would start telling you all the bad things about cigarettes. I mean, of course you know.
I know, but then people who smoke, they just don't care.
That's my point. And because they don't care about that, I think they also are not worried about having sex.
Absolutely not.
You know, as opposed, people go, what if I get the clap or something? What if I get AIDS? Like, people who worry about that, let me tell you, when you finally do get them into bed, they're the worst.
Good thing they're smokers.
Well, I don't particularly like cigarettes. I really don't like to smoke. But I will tell you this, if a chick is hot enough, I'll even tolerate smoking.
Nice. When are you available?
1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Cheryl on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
What's that, Tom?
Just the rating, Cheryl.
Yeah, seriously, tell me about it. I'm on the 5. I'm stuck in the traffic.
Uh-huh.
You know what? I cannot believe that girl, Randy, what's her name?
Randy.
Okay, I picture that girl with, like, bleach blonde, box dyed hair, and black roots, and thinks she has a good figure, but wears, like, pumps the size of 6 inches.
Why do you think that?
She just completely degraded women. Just because we smoke does not mean that we're sluts. I mean,
mostly it does. Mostly it does.
You think it does?
Oh, yeah. Because clearly you don't care about your health. You're not worried about engaging in risky behavior.
No.
You know that.
You know what?
Are you a smoker?
I smoke once in a while. I go out, like... And
No, are you a smoker? Like, do you smoke a pack a day or more?
Oh, no, definitely not.
Oh, so you're not a smoker. But you're making my point for me.
But no. See,
The fact that you occasionally put a cigarette in your mouth to look cool is not the same as smoking a pack or more a day.
Yeah, no, but that was like when I started, like in 9th grade, but that to be cool. But now, it's just like more relaxing. But my point is...
How much do you smoke? How much?
How much?
Yeah.
Oh, God, I don't know. Maybe like...
Pack a week?
5, 10 cigarettes a week.
Dear, you're not a smoker, per se, at this point. And that's my point. When we talk about smokers, dear, we're not talking about you. We're talking about people who buy at least a pack a day.
Okay, let me get there. I have 9 girlfriends, okay? We've all been friends since 7th grade. We're now 24. Okay, we all kind of started smoking around the same age, same 9.
But do you all smoke 10 cigarettes a week?
Yes. No. No, my girlfriends all smoke.
The more they smoke, the more they F.
No, it's not true.
Oh, sure it is.
Okay, my girlfriend seriously smokes like a pack or 2 packs a day. We go out, we like to party, we roll in, have a good time, smiles, meet guys, whatever. We're down to party, but that doesn't mean we're going to go home at the end of the night and have sex with
There, I'm telling you, from experience, that chicks who smoke a lot also like to have sex.
We like to have sex.
I mean, wanton sex. Wanton sex. Oh, no, with your man. Dear, you had to get a man somehow. In the process of getting a man, you had to give a free sample to a number of guys.
That's not true.
Well, you smoke 10 cigarettes a week, but I'm telling you, the ones who smoke 2 packs a day are not telling you the whole truth.
No way, I'm telling you. At least for my group of girlfriends, we're not like that. We have boyfriends.
So you don't like sex. But what about when you don't have a boyfriend? You don't have sex?
Then we go to the store, we buy ourselves a couple of dildos and some toys and have fun.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to have a man to get off, honey, let me tell you.
Yeah, but dear, you know what? Most women prefer a man to get off.
Yeah.
Most do.
I guess.
And thank God for that. Well, dear, I'll tell you what, I've certainly had my share. I did not have a lot of women going, I'm not going to have sex with you unless you're my boyfriend. Now I have to go buy some Marlboros. Never. I've never heard that paragraph spoken.
I'm not saying it hasn't ever happened. I'm just saying it doesn't mean that it's a frequent thing.
Generally, it's true. Hang on a second. Dan, you agree with me, I understand. Tell Cheryl.
I do. And, every girl that I've ever been with here in Hollywood, even back in Denver, they act like they're innocent. They act like they're pure. Bam, you realize they're a smoker, they got tattoos, and they spread their legs quicker than anything.
Right.
What? So every girl you've been with smokes?
No, not at all. But the ones that I did go with that did smoke were the sluttiest ones of all. Absolutely.
Well, where are you picking them up at? Are you meeting all these girls at bars when they're drunk? Is that what you're doing? Are you, going out socially meeting them at, a dinner party or something?
No, the worst part about it is they're so slutty, most of them picked up on me.
Were you at a bar?
No, not even. I could be anywhere. I could be at work, the grocery store, a 7-Eleven, a bar.
Grocery store.
You never met a guy?
You need to talk to Randy. That's the girl picking up you at a grocery store.
No, that's a slut that smokes.
Right, best place to pick up chicks at the 7-Eleven. She's getting her lottery tickets and her Marlboros. That's where you pick up chicks.
That's right.
Chicks will go home with you tonight. They take a 6er of old Milwaukee right out the door, and you're ready to rock.
You meet girls at bars, I know it. You meet a girl at school, you meet a girl at some other social setting. It doesn't mean that just because she smokes, she's going to go home with you that night. I'm sorry.
It does if she smokes a lot. The more she smokes, the more likely it is she's going to put out.
I have to agree, Tom. I have a question for you, though.
Yes.
Now, you say that a girl doesn't treat her body like a temple, and she behaves in unhealthy acts. Does that mean girls that overeat are also sluts?
Yes. In fact, I've told you that on the air many times. You know what I always say? Fat girls love to eat.
And fat girls love to be slutty, huh?
Oh, please, because that's the only way they get men.
Oh, man.
Fat girls, as we always say, fat girls are open late, and you can call them any time, and they pick up the phone, and if you need to come over, they're ready to rock.
That's the best.
Why? You don't like that, Cheryl? It's true. Fat girls are the biggest sluts of all.
Hey, Cheryl?
Does anyone agree with me? Anyone out there? Call in.
Well, hang on. Dan, I'm going to thank you. Let me get another one on here. Chris, what do you have to say to Cheryl?
Hey, what's up, Father? How you doing today?
Not much. It's the son I never had. Chris, yes, Chris.
Well, I can tell you from personal experience. I have a girlfriend that smokes everything except cigarettes, and she's one of the loosest whores I know. She, for instance, she strips in a strip club.
That's because she's a
so
druggie.
often, that kind of risky behavior all goes together. Stripping in strip clubs,
exactly.
tattoos, piercings, smoking cigarettes.
And it goes to show that they have no self-control.
And they're not the least bit worried about doing something risky.
Yeah, because they don't care about themselves.
Right.
Their life is about pleasure and pleasing themselves. And
you're talking about a drug addict. We're talking about girls who smoke here.
No, I didn't say anything about drugs, did I?
You said smokes everything else.
Yeah, exactly. Cigars, whatever, tobacco
cigars,
pipes.
weed, everything else.
Oh, don't put words in my mouth, you uptight woman, you.
Wouldn't that be, Tom, would that not be considered, everything else be considered weed, cigars, whatever?
Well, I don't know. It could be any number of things.
Every detail. Every single detail.
Wait, what did you say? I'm paying attention to every detail?
What, does she smoke crack too, Chris?
No, as a matter of fact, she does it because that's a drug.
What if a chick ever smoke? I'll tell you what, if a chick ever smoked crack or even clove cigarettes, they're putting out.
Exactly. The more they smoke, the looser they are. This girl gave me private lap dances in my garage.
Mm-hmm.
She was such a whore.
Right.
My garage. Yeah, exactly.
There you go. What do you think about that, Cheryl?
You know what? I think she's a slut, and I think she does smoke other things other than cigars.
Hang on a second, Chris. Thank you. Robert, what do you want to say to Cheryl here?
Hey, Tom. How are you?
Okay.
I just wanted to say, I think it was you who said this, that not only cigarettes, but tattoos and drinking shots take her home that night. Guaranteed.
Absolutely, no doubt about it. The more of these risk factors exist, the more risky behaviors in which a woman engages. Driving drunk would be another one. These are the people who put out.
You're totally stereotyping girls that smoke by saying that they're all these bad things.
Because generally it's true. Generally it's true.
Okay, you're saying that, like, anything that has to do with behavior is persuaded by the way that we act.
Absolutely. Here's another one. Carlos, what do you want to say to Cheryl?
Yeah, man. Hey, I got to tell you, man, no matter how hot the chick is, if she smokes, I will not talk to her. It's the most disgusting habit I could ever see a woman do, you know?
Do you think all girls who smoke are sluts?
No, I don't think they're necessarily sluts, but...
Yes, I love you.
Oh, look at that. But no one ever said the word all, dear. There are exceptions to every rule, but generally speaking...
You know, Tom, they're just not as attractive at all, you know?
Well, that's a whole other issue. All right, Cheryl, Carlos, thank you very much for the call.
The Tom Leykis Show. This is the Tom Leykis Show.
Yeah, baby. From Los Angeles, 1-800-5800-TOM. Are chicks who smoke sluts? Of course, there are exceptions to every rule, but generally, you bet. Lisa, on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, Tom.
Hi, Lisa.
I'm usually with you on mostly everything, but not now. You're killing me.
How am I killing you, dear?
You're killing me. Where did you come up with this connection?
By meeting chicks and seeing which ones put out.
What about the ones who don't smoke?
There are sluts who don't smoke.
I think there are a lot of sluts who don't smoke.
Because there's a lot of people who don't smoke.
You're right.
In California, less than 30% of people smoke.
Mm-hmm.
And so, there's a lot of women who are sluts and not sluts who smoke,
right.
who don't smoke. But of women who do smoke,
okay,
I would say the vast majority of them, and I never use the word all because I know there's exceptions to every single rule in the world.
Well,
the vast majority of women who smoke, especially those who smoke a pack or more a day,
okay,
are sluts.
Well, I think I take offense to that because I find it to be a very blanket.
Why do you take it? Well, it is a blanket statement because it's generally true.
Well, you know what? I smoke, and I have friends that smoke, and I started smoking when I was young, but I was never promiscuous.
Here, again, did you hear what I just said?
Yes, I did.
So what if you're the exception to the rule, dear? How many women have you dated?
None.
All right. I've dated many. And the more a woman smokes, the more likely it is she's putting out.
I don't know. I just don't get the connection.
Here is the connection. Smoking is risky behavior.
Mm-hmm.
It's dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
It kills you.
Right.
You know that before you put the first cigarette in your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
But you do it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Generally, you can extrapolate that to mean that that person doesn't care as much about themselves as someone who doesn't smoke, and will engage in other forms of risky behavior. Sex with strangers, sex on a first date, things like that.
So I guess this topic could also have been...
I'll give you another example. You know all those single mothers we always talk about?
Right.
Ever notice I always ask them what cigarette they smoke and how many of them tell you the brand?
Yeah.
Why do you think that is, dear? They don't care about themselves.
Right.
They don't.
Right.
And that is why you can extrapolate that to all kinds of other things they do.
Would you extrapolate the same from someone who, let's say, drinks that doesn't smoke?
Drinks heavily and doesn't smoke? Yes.
I'm not saying heavily.
Everybody has a glass of Chardonnay, dear, except for a couple of Mormon missionaries, okay? We're not talking about people who drink a glass of Chardonnay on Thanksgiving. We're talking about people who drink and get drunk.
Mm-hmm.
People who get drunk are generally sluts. I'll go a step further. Women in this country frequently drink so they can say, well, I wasn't planning on having sex with him, but I had a couple of Jaegers, and you know how I get when I have a couple of Jaegers. One thing leads to another, and suddenly I had my panties off and his hand up my dress. That's what women do. I mean, dear, how can you say there's not a connection?
You know, I just think it's a general statement. I think you could connect.
Yes, and it's but general statements are made because they're generally true. That's why you make them. I mean, let me give you some other general statements. Would you generally say that you wouldn't want to live next door to a child molester?
Yes.
I'm sure there are child molesters who are perfectly nice people. If you're not a child, you're not in any danger. But would you want to live next door to most of them and find out?
No.
No. Why will you generalize like that? Why don't you take everybody as an individual? How about somebody who killed? Can they ever be rehabilitated? Somebody, a murderer.
I don't know.
Would you want to make exceptions to the rule and find out if he's a nice murderer or not? Let's say a guy gets out of prison.
Probably not.
Oh, why are you generalizing?
Probably not.
Well, you're generalizing. Maybe there's a nice murderer. Maybe there's a guy who killed somebody, and then he learned his lesson. And he's not going to kill any more people. But he'll never live next door to you because you generalize. So you understand, dear, you make general statements. You have general opinions because they're generally true.
Well, I get your point. I understand. And I guess for those...
So why do you worry about whether I'm generalizing?
Well, because it hits home for the people who are not, don't fit into that little stereotype.
Would you agree that generally a street called Martin Luther King Boulevard is in a black neighborhood?
Absolutely.
Well, why you generalize?
No, that's not generalization.
How do you know?
Because I've been to almost
There's lots of streets called Martin Luther King Boulevard. How do you know there isn't one in a white neighborhood?
You know, I didn't...
Or a mixed neighborhood?
Well, usually they...
You're assuming.
No, because you know what?
Well, look how many ways you generalize. I can't believe you're full of generalization.
I've been to Martin Luther King Highway and Street from here to New York, and they're usually...
There, you haven't... How do you know you've been to all of them? For God's sake.
All of them. I haven't been to all of them, but most of them, yeah.
Yeah. But you don't even know if you've been to most of them. You don't even know how many there are, dear. The point is, there could very well be an exception to the rule. Maybe they have a Martin Luther King Boulevard in Salt Lake City, for all you know. You don't know.
Probably not.
You don't know. Maybe they do. Who knows? Point is, you generalize.
Oh, okay.
Don't you?
Yes, that's what I'm taking.
Yeah, but you generalize about all kinds of things.
Yeah, I know.
So, generally speaking, the women I meet who engage in one risky behavior, drinking heavily, smoking more than a pack a day, walking the streets at 3 o'clock in the morning, getting tattoos or piercings, these are people who don't treat their bodies like a temple. They engage in risky behavior. It is a pattern of behavior that is generally, in my view, a predictor of other risky behavior, like having sex with people on the first date or with strangers.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Well, when you group them all up like that, I would say you're probably right.
But that is how you have to group it up. It's risky behavior.
Well, this topic was basically about people.
You're a smoker, aren't you?
I do.
Now, when you first put a cigarette in your mouth, did you see the Surgeon General's warning on the pack?
You know,
Had you heard about it?
I was 15. Yeah, I heard it was bad.
Had you seen commercials on TV, public service announcements telling you not to do it?
Yes. My husband worked for a tobacco company.
Great.
So very well, I know.
Okay. So you knew all of the risks, and yet you stuck a ciggy in your mouth anyway.
That's true.
So you engaged in risky behavior, and you still engage in it.
But you know what? I don't see that. I know. And again, we're going back to generalization. I don't see the connection. I mean, I have an education.
Dear, you know what? You're more likely to die from smoking than from having sex.
Oh, I'm absolutely sure of it.
Yeah, but you do it. So,
but I don't have sex. You know, I'm not.
Again, just because there are exceptions to the rule doesn't mean the rule doesn't hold true.
Okay. Well, I guess it helps to hear that because I think that's more.
Dear, I've said it 100 times. Women are so idiotic when they call in here. They all call in and try to say, it's not fair because I don't do what you're saying. But the fact that 1 or 2 or 10 people don't do what I say doesn't mean it isn't generally true. Women do not understand logic. And not only that, I've said it repeatedly, to the point of distraction. Now, of course, in fact, 5 times this hour I said, now, of course, there are exceptions to every rule. But you didn't hear it once, huh?
I did hear it. I actually did hear it.
But then you go ahead and say, well, I guess I objected because, well, I already said there are exceptions to the rule. So what?
Well, I needed to say it, too.
You don't need to say it. It's generally true. And even if you're not a slut, believe me, there's 99 others who are, for every one of you.
You're probably right.
Well, there you go. Now we're on the same side.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866. The Tom Leykis Show.
The Tom Leykis Show at 1-800-5800-TOM. This is Steve on the Tom Leykis Show.
Hey, how you doing, Tom?
All right, Steve.
Hey, there's strong data to back up what you're saying. Because actually, about 5 or 6 years ago, I read an article in Psychology Today where they had done a study that proved that women that smoke are 14 times more likely to have frequent one-night stands than women that don't.
Wow, I knew it.
Yeah, and when I read it, I was kicking myself because how could I have been so stupid not to recognize this earlier?
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, I was already married when I read the article, and I just wished I could have redone my college years. But, that's the way it goes. Now we need to pass on the word to everybody else and let them know.
Now, hang on a second. Now, Amber, did you hear that statistic?
Yes, I did.
What do you think about what Steve said?
I think it's true. I think I'm the exception to the rule, but, what can I say?
But you just told Dino the exact opposite. You said that you smoke, and smoking doesn't mean that someone's a slut. Now you've changed it.
Well, I was hearing your argument with the previous lady that was on the line, and it makes a lot of sense. And
so you changed your mind in the course of hanging on.
Huh?
So you changed your mind in the course of listening.
Well, I mean, I feel like I'm the exception to the rule. I started smoking when I was 16. I'm 24. I still smoke. I have my labret pierced, but I didn't lose my virginity until I was like almost 21, and I've only had sex with 3 guys.
Only 3.
Only 3, and out of those 3, 1 was a one-night stand. Wow,
there you go.
And that was the second guy I slept with, or whatever, and that's just how it is. That's how I am and stuff.
Right,
I go out with my friends. I exercise. I go out drinking. I do all that stuff. But when it comes to guys, I don't feel like giving myself up is a.
You do engage in other risky behavior.
Oh yeah, I do.
That shows you have no concern about yourself.
Well, I do have concern about myself.
But you don't because you smoke.
Well,
smoking is one of the most... But the point is, you knew when you started what it was all about.
Well, yeah, I had an idea. I mean,
dear, the Surgeon General's report regarding the dangers of smoking came out before you were ever born.
Yeah, I wasn't I don't think...
It's not like... You know what? There's people like your grandparents' age who grew up seeing advertising on TV telling them smoking was healthy? There were ads that said that doctors recommend Chesterfield on TV.
No.
Do you understand that these are people who grew up not knowing any better, all right? You knew everything, and you did it anyway.
Well,
what I can extrapolate from that is maybe you don't give it up to everybody, but you really don't care about yourself. You're not worried about killing yourself.
Well, when I started smoking, I wasn't like full aware of all the risks. I didn't understand
What do
that.
you mean you weren't aware of them? They're written right on the pack.
No, I knew smoking was bad for me, but I didn't realize that it led to so many health issues.
It tells you on the pack.
Yeah, but I mean, I have my pack right here, and all it tells me is, well, this one's a lot more.
There, it's on every pack has a different warning, and they rotate.
Yeah, well, when I first started
information
smoking,
has been there.
Well, yeah.
And
No,
you've
I
never seen a
understand
public service announcement about smoking?
Well, not when I started smoking. I didn't.
Dear, come on. They've had them for 30.
I'm serious.
Dear,
I'm
they've had them
serious.
on TV. You know when they started running public service announcements? Anti-smoking public service announcements. You know when that was? I'm going to tell you when.
Before I was born.
It was in the 2 years before cigarette advertising on TV was banned. 1969. Way before you were born.
No, I've seen like.
How can you tell me you have not seen commercials on TV telling you not to smoke?
No, I'm not saying that.
Are you going to tell me that in your high school they didn't warn you of the dangers of smoking? They didn't have an assembly and call you into the auditorium or somewhere, the gymnasium? No. That you didn't have a health class and the teacher didn't tell you about smoking?
No,
come on.
It
come
wasn't,
on. Then you cut every class in school because everybody has had that. They were doing that in school when I was in school, and they're still doing it.
I must have not been taking the right classes.
So you cut class, too. So let's see. Smoking, cutting classes.
No, I didn't cut class.
There, believe me. The commercials have been, the public service announcements have been on TV for over 35 years.
No, I believe you. I mean, I have to believe you.
And you have a TV, right?
I don't watch it, though.
But you have watched it.
Yeah, I have watched
All
TV,
right.
yeah.
On the radio, they run public service announcements. Don't smoke.
I see the billboards. I hear it on the radio. I know the risk.
And that didn't start last week, did it?
Huh?
That didn't start last week or in the last month, did it?
No.
It was probably going on 8 years ago when you started.
No, I'm just...
And you did it anyway.
Yeah, I tried it, and I told myself if I have my first cigarette and I choke, then I won't smoke another one, and I didn't choke. So, that's where it started, and then,
But you knew the dangers. Don't tell me you didn't know the dangers. You're in complete denial. Everybody knows the dangers of smoking now. Everybody.
Yes, I knew
including you.
Yes. I knew that it was dangerous, but I didn't realize the extent of the danger.
Dear, what danger did you think there was? You think lung cancer isn't really, really dangerous? Here's what happens when you get lung cancer. They cut you open, and they take out your lung. Does that sound dangerous to you? Was that not serious enough?
I'm educated about that now, but I'm saying when I first
So what did you think, when you were 16 and you started smoking, what did you think the danger was?
I just looked at it like I wouldn't be able to be as athletic, and I didn't really see the extent of it being a big deal. It was. So you never heard of smoking and lung cancer? It wasn't crossing my mind when I started.
You never heard of it?
Oh, I've heard of it.
You heard of lung cancer, and you heard that you did hear that people who smoke can get lung cancer, right?
Yeah, I didn't.
And what did you think lung cancer was?
Just, something that could probably be removed when I first started smoking. I know the risk now, and I understand a lot more. I'm a lot more educated now. But, I'm just saying, when I first started smoking, I didn't realize the extent to the...
You didn't care to find out. And it's that same attitude that leads me to believe that most women, like you, are sluts.
Tom Leykis.
Tom Leykis?
Leykis.
Leykis.
1-800-5800-TOM.
Say it on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello, Dad.
Hello, Ed, on the father you never had.
Damn right.
The Tom Leykis Show.
The Tom Leykis Show at 1-800-5800-TOM. It's Julie on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom.
Hey, Julie.
You are so right, as usual.
Really?
Yes. And after that last girl, let's add stupid to the list, too. Slutty and stupid. Slutty and stupid. Seriously, well, I didn't really know.
Yeah,
I
please.
just thought they'd remove part of my lung. Oh, my God. That is just ridiculous. It is about time someone speaks up. Girls that smoke are so nasty. They wear too much makeup. They wear too much perfume. They're just sluts. They're disgusting, slutty. And you know why they're slutty, Tom?
Why?
Because girls that smoke are attention whores. Don't you agree?
No doubt about that.
Smoking.
No doubt about that. They love to ask you to light their cigarette or if you've got a match. It's all designed to get you to pay attention to them. Our email address is my name, Tom@blowmeuptom.com.
The Tom Leykis Show.